Hi there. Thought I'd knock over a couple of things in this clip. I've already done a clip on making yogurt, the way we make yogurt using the jars and the thermos. So we make up our own yogurt using a little smidgen, tiniest amount of yogurt bacteria in some warm milk heated to 37 degrees centigrade, and then it goes inside a flask and turns into nice, thick, gorgeous yogurt. To that you can also add the probiotic culture. I think in the clip I did I also showed us making a separate batch of probiotic yogurt. Well, now we don't bother about separating them, we put the probiotics in with the normal yogurt, so we end up with a full-on probiotic yogurt. The probiotics are great for the gut, keeps all the flora in there nice and happy and healthy, so it basically gives you good stomach health and helps your digestive system, which is where all your health comes from, your digestive system really. So what we've done is we've wrapped up a kilo of the yogurt that I made last night, and we put it over this jug, and all the whey has dripped out. Now the majority of that whey, probably about 310 mils of it, I've actually put in the bottom of this bread pan. So we're going to try the whey in with the bread. We make up our own bread mix, and I pre-bake probably about 20 at a time. This lot here is atta flour, 400 grams of atta flour, 200 grams of white flour, tablespoon and a half of what you can see there is milk powder. What else is in there? Teaspoon of salt, under a teaspoon actually. We use this pink salt, mineral salt from Pakistan or the Himalayas. Salt, sugar, we put a little bit of sugar in there. The first batches we did had 2 tablespoons, and I'm slowly using up all the sugar in the place, so we're down to about half a tablespoon of sugar. I think that's it, milk, sugar and salt, and the 2 lots of flours. So that there then goes into the pan, and to that we add a teaspoon and a quarter of yeast, and probably about a teaspoon of the bread improver. Right, the bread's in. I'll just show you these reusable, these Ziploc bags. These are actually a double zip. We like this brand because they got the double zip. We don't throw them out, we actually use them over. Some of these have been used up to 8 times for different batches of bread, so we just make up the bread, seal them in the bags and put them in a big bucket like this just to keep them fresh. So the bread then is just sitting in the tin, and to that we'll add a teaspoon and a quarter of yeast. So let's see if we can do this while holding the camera. Kira, can you just come and give me a hand for a tick?
Okay.
My helpful assistance here, so it's about a teaspoon, and well, probably actually under a quarter, about a teaspoon, we'll call it a quarter of yeast. And then to that we add the bread improver. The bread improver is something we just add because the recipe called for it. We have made it without the bread improver, and we find it just works out nicer that way. I think the active, you can actually use powdered ascorbic acid. It does the same thing, vitamin C, but we've just bought a whole heap of bread improver when the supermarket stopped carrying it, so dirt cheap. So we've just been using that. Thank you very much, short one.
And it was 1 teaspoon.
Yes, 1 teaspoon of bread improver. So that's pretty much all it, and now it just goes into the bread maker. Making it by hand is not that hard. All you have to do is knead it, probably for about 10-15 minutes, giving it a good stretch, then let it rest in a warm place, in a sealed container or just with some Glad wrap over the top, and the neighbour's mowing. And then let it rise for about an hour or so until it's doubled in size, and then knead it again, let it rise again inside the tin you're baking with, and then bake it at 180 for about 30 minutes, probably 40 minutes. So anyway, 180 centigrade that is. But with the bread maker, it's a breeze. All we have to do is set it on 1. It's white bread, basic. Even though it's atta flour, which is a wholemeal flour, a whole flour, it works better on the basic with this one. Just change the loaf. That's a 1 kilo loaf, and I like it to stay in there a little bit longer, and away we go. It's that easy. Now I can walk away and 3 hours 20 minutes later I'll be pulling out a piping hot loaf of bread. Right, so I'll just show you what we've got here. I've got some seeds that I'm going to pour in. Our bread maker is really good. It has a beep at about, I think it's about 30-40 minutes. It beeps at us and tells us that it's time to put the additives in. And the additives we're doing today are pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds, what you see in there, some sesame seeds, small band of black is poppy seeds, and then chia seeds on top. So this will all go in to make a full grain loaf. Now I will state here, not having seen the end result of the bread, it's the first time I've cooked bread using whey. I just read about it the other day, so we'll see how it goes. I'll show you the kneading action of the bread. Those little brown flecks you can see in there are actually bits of crust from the last loaf that I didn't get off from around the paddle. So that's beeping now. Yep. Just pour it straight in. Keep going, Kerry, just pour it all in.
Look at it.
That's pretty looking good, isn't it?
3 layers.
5 layers. It's a 5 seed loaf. Oh, you broke it! You broke it! Oh, amazing.
There are pumpkin seeds.
Yes, pumpkin seeds.
Sunflower seeds.
Poppy seeds and sesame seeds. Yep. So that'll sit in there and knead and rise and then knead and then rise. We've got about 3 hours to go, so yes. It's fun to watch that. And to tell you the truth, for $50 it's one of the best buys we've had, this one. He knocks on wood. Yeah, so we had big expensive ones for $350 and all the rest of it, but this little thing here, little generic brand one that the stores put their own brand name on, has gone the best out of all of them, so there you go. Right, well that's the bread after baking. It's got a few wrinkles on top. That's just because of I had the lid off and it's been sitting in the hot pan for a little while, just while I was tidying off the bench after dinner. So I'll just turn him out now. I don't know if you're aware of it, if you use these things or not, but if you twist these little paddle things on the bottom, it actually loosens the paddles up from the inside of the bread. Now all it's a matter of doing is giving a bit of a shake and out she comes.
Nah, lens is fogged up.
Yeah, so that's the bread. You do get the paddle holes in the bottom, but that's just one of the things you get with using a bread maker. It's a nice heavy loaf. It was a kilo loaf. Normally these loaves probably come up about another 2 centimetres to an inch, or 2.5 centimetres to an inch-ish in height, but I'd say the whey just didn't let this one rise as well, so that's pretty much all it. There's a another use for your whey when you're making yogurt cheese. Have a good one. Just teasing, I am going to cut it. I'll show you what it looks like. Rightio, so we'll just take an end bit off, thin crust. It is very hot, so it's slicing very nicely. So that's the texture you've got inside. It is a bit of a heavier loaf actually. It's interesting trying these new things. But yeah, there you go, there's my 5 seed Atta flour whey bread. So, hope you enjoyed. If you try it, I know I'm going to. Take it easy all. See ya.